Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Yes, this is Taxi. One of the most famous pinball machines that are out there. Williams Taxi 1988. This is not the Maryland version, this is the Lola version. So, Maryland's on the glass, but Lola's on the playfield. For you that don't know about the Lola Maryland thing, when Williams released this, or they were in pre-production, one of the two, on the playfield, one of the objects to acquire for your taxi was a Maryland Monroe. Well, Maryland's estate said, you ain't using that. So they changed her hair and changed the name on the playfield to Lola. So I don't know if this is the original glass, since that does look like Marilyn Monroe to me. But anyways, as you can see, it's a Taxi. Badass game. It's in here for a shop. What it came here for was it would not start a game. Now, I already fixed that issue. I will show you what I did. So this is the intro and the ball launch video. I already fixed it, but I'm going to show you. The reason why I fixed that first is because I didn't want to go any further on tearing this game apart and working on anything until I got the game playable. It's playable right now, but there are still some issues. You might be able to notice right now. Do you see anything or not see anything? There's no GI, no general illumination. So we got to fix that. I can see in the head that one of the boards had the connector melted off, and then they soldered them to the board. There was a blown fuse for that. I put a circuit breaker in it, and I still got no GI. So I'm thinking that fuse job is really crappy, or it has something to do with the power supply in the head. But anyways, I'm going to be taking this all apart to do the next video for the display. As you can see, I'm missing part of a digit. What I think, it's all the way across. I'm thinking one of the legs rotted and broke on the display, because it's the same digit all the way across one line. So that will be in the next video. You guys see an R and an A and an E and an R. And then I get a little flickering. But I don't know, it could be a transistor or something burned on it. We'll look at that. Anyways, let's look at this playfield. It's pretty nice. And typically, like I get my games, filthy. Now there are a couple LEDs in here. I just wanted to put a couple in just to see how it would look. These two are LEDs. The Dracula is a LED and 60,000 is a LED. I just want to see how they would look. Because once I get the GI done and everything like that, I'm going to ask the customer if he wants to go that route or not. You know it's going to brighten up the playfield, because if you watch my World Cup soccer, it did wonders for that game. So let's just go over this playfield real quick. As you can see, as soon as we focus, there you go. There's some of the nastiness. Let's get this way back. That's probably why it's trying to focus, because I have it zoomed in. There we go. You can see the ground in dirt. Just ground in everywhere. That should come out and be fully gray again. And just me wiping my finger, it left a clean mark. Yuck. But yeah, it's filthy. All the ramps look pretty good from what I can see, because I can't really see. I got a new plastic coming for this because it's cracked. Looks like it just got torqued down too far. Oh, actually no, there's tape underneath it. So it was previously broke before. I do got a little cracking right back here on this ramp, which I don't think is going to be really too much of an issue. That's all I can see with the other ramps. I can't really see any damage. But you know that changes once you take off things. But yeah, look at that dirt. We should get most of that clean off. Some of this is a little wore. We're going back with the factory color to the rubbers. These posts will be yellow. The rubber will be white. Flipper rubber will be red. So that's got it going for it. So let's get this opened up. Get these balls out. I will show you the issue. Okay. Show you the issue it had with the ball launch. That was a real pain. Okay, let's get you in my hand. Here's the switch that was giving issues. I think this was number 11 in the ball test feature. Anyways, when the ball would sit in here, it wouldn't tell the micro switch what's going on. This one worked, and this one worked. This one didn't. So I checked the switch, and I got help from a couple other people with the switch, and they all determined it's wired correctly. There's no reason why it shouldn't be working. So I'm like, okay. So I went into the owner's manual, and it's got the switch matrix to figure out what else wasn't working. Everything else connected with the switch is working perfectly. So we know it's not the board issue. So I decided to do a continuity test. This white and orange wire is also shared down here with the credit button, well, the start button. So I did a continuity test from that orange and white wire to that orange and white wire. Nothing. So that means there was a break between these two. So I decided just to follow this wire, and it goes all the way down through here, down through here, down through here, through here, up through here, and right over here, and then voila! It was broke right off here. As you can see, there's two orange and white wires. The one from the switch that we had an issue with hooked here, and then this one goes back down and travels some more. So the wire was just broke right off and just hanging there. You wouldn't even have noticed it. It was because you know how the wires, they just remember where they are. It was broken just hanging there. So I'm like, oh, stripped it off, soldered it back on. I reconnected this one, soldered that back on, and boom, hit the button, and we get a game start. So anyways, there's not too much under here. It's missing the tilt bob, which I ain't worried about. Like I said, this isn't my game, so I'm not worried about it. I did find the head keys right here, but the mech for the headlock is missing part of it or broke off, so it doesn't lock. The key will turn and do nothing. What we'll be doing, replacing all the bulbs, as usual. I checked the flippers. They're actually in good shape. Nothing wrong with them. I'll look at the EOS switches, and they actually look good from right here, so I'll just clean those EOS switches up. I'll tear apart all these mechs, new coil sleeves, same with the pop bumpers, rebuild them, new coil sleeves, go through, clean the switches on them, put a little dab of grease on a spoon so they get crazy stupid fast. That's about it here. But yeah, a lot of these bulbs are just straight up nasty dirty. So we'll be going through that. I was really surprised that the flippers are in awesome shape. So they will not be needing anything. They are good to go. Totally good to go. I'll probably have to just get sleeves for them. I'll order probably 25 of them. Just so I have them on hand. Usually when I rebuild flippers, you know, every game I'm usually rebuilding flippers somehow. But not on this one. Yeah, a good sign. And then we do. And we can play a game. Like I said, it's so dark. There you can see it. The display is pretty messed up. I'm gonna turn it off. I'll turn it back on. Actually, maybe I should just leave it off since we're gonna take the glass apart. So I'm gonna put the camera back up and then start the video, and then we'll be getting into the head. Alright, we're in the head right now. As you can see, it looks like a normal head inside. The score reels for the taxi need to be rebuilt. The credit wheel on the taxi needs to be rebuilt. I have to go through the relays, the 10-point relay, score reel reset, redo the Jones plugs. Nah, I'm messing with you, man. It's right here. You guys are probably going, what? What's he talking about? So I'm just going to prop you guys up right now and get this apart. Like I said, it doesn't lock. Okay, one of the issues I did have with it right away, and me, like myself, as I'm working on it, I always forget about doing video. This whole door was tilted just like that a little bit. So this display, you only could see like that much of it, and then these lights weren't lining up on the top with the stoplight. So these were loose, so I just tightened them up. I got the door where it needs to be and tightened them up. So we are not worried about that. Okay. For the display, actually, I have one extra one of these cables. It's a real short one. So I pulled it off and swapped it, and exact same lines. So that's leading me to believe that one of the chips on the board is bad, or one of the, what do you call it, transistors is bad, or the glass is broke away from the leads. But I can see this thing has been repaired before. So I will look at that. I will take this board out in the next video and go through it and see if I see any cracked solder joints. But this chip has been replaced. Let's get you over here so you can see this better. Because you're like, hey, I can't see anything. Let's get this tilted like that, that like that. Here we go. You see that now? This chip. Oh, you can't see that. Get rid of my flashlight and then get the regular light going on here. Let's put this light behind you. Alright. Let's tilt this up a little bit. This chip right here, that's been resoldered or replaced. this chip has been resoldered or replaced. This chip has been resoldered or replaced. This chip definitely, or whatever the hell it is, has been resoldered and replaced very, very badly. So we will still be taking this board off and then looking at it in the next video. Other issues you can see. As you can see, I got one of my circuit breakers in right here. Let's get the light shining this way. I have one of my circuit breakers right here. Those circuit breakers, I got a video in my how-to thing about these. That fuse was blown, so I'm thinking, okay, just maybe something freaked out, a bulb was bad or something, and I popped the fuse. So I put my circuit breaker in, which is a smaller breaker than what, smaller size than what's in here. This is supposed to be a 5-volt fuse, and I put a 3 volt, 3 amp breaker in it. So the circuit breakers, whenever you use them, you want to use a little bit down from what the normal size is. So if it's a 10 amp fuse, you want to use a 3 amp breaker. Like an 8 amp breaker, or if it's a 15 volt fuse, you want to use like a 10 volt breaker. Just because these breakers need a little bit more power to pop. That's how they're designed. So if you step down just a little bit in the breaker size, it acts more like a real fuse. So anyways, then this connector here, I don't know if you can see it. I can't really see because I'm kind of blinded by this light, so I'm going to zoom you in. I think it's right here. Right here. You see there's no connector on it? All those wires are just soldered to the back and kind of to the front. So I don't even know if they're all hooked up or anything, so, or how good they're hooked up, because this one doesn't really seem too good. And then it goes through this connector here. So anyways, I will be going through this mess here, making sure I got continuity all through these, and then getting a new Molex connector and connecting all these back up. I'm going to connect them exactly the same way through this harness, just because I don't know exactly how they went, but I know how they went through on this harness. So we will do that, and this harness can just stay there, or I'll just cut these wires, and actually I'll probably just cut all these wires back. I got a lot of wire here, and then figure out what wires hooked up to what, and then put those on a new Molex connector and just do it right. And then I got this one here too, that's all rigged, where it looks like it's been all soldered on and everything. That's the power to insert. So we'll look on that too. Otherwise that looks good for all the other connectors. Board looks mint, or as mint as it can be. It's got new batteries in it, and they never leaked. There's no leak, stain, or anything, so we're good on that. What else? All the other boards look really good. I have to test the fuses for that go to here, and the power supply that goes to there for the GI lights, and see what's going up, see if that's an issue. But otherwise everything looks good in the head here. It's the what do you call it, the bridge rectifier has been factory fused up against here, so we're good on that. Otherwise I would have had to put a fuse on there. But otherwise every connector looks decent from what I see. No other ones are smoked or anything. So that's it. I guess that's the beginning to the end of the intro. Well, it's not the beginning of the end. It's the end of the intro, but it's the beginning of Taxi. So we'll be going through more and more of this puppy. More and more. So yeah, that's it. Next video will be this display, because I need to figure out what's going on with that. See if that can be fixed or what. I can't replace chips because I don't have any chips, and I am not that good at doing those little pinpoint solders. I don't have a solder thing where I can suck all the solder out and stuff like that, but I can see from right here I have some cracked solder joints. So, next video, the display board. Next video, we'll be taking that melted board out. That's right down there. And doing that. And then once we get our GI lights back up and working, or the display figured out, either we're going to leave the display alone and just let it be with that one part of the digit broken, or we're going to come back and put a new one in. So we'll see on that. Anyways, that's the end of the intro for Taxi. Later.